The chamber of the Galactic Council was wide and endless, light spilling from glass walls that looked out to the stars. Alien leaders sat in their curved seats, whispering in low voices. They spoke of one world, a world many of them thought was too small to matter. Earth, a tall, scaled ambassador, hissed softly, "Why are we even speaking of humans? They live on a death world, yes, but they are still fragile. They are not a real threat." An insect-like leader clicked its sharp jaws together, its wings buzzing with unease. "Fragile, you say? Yet their kind survives storms that would wipe out our colonies. They walk deserts without aid. They drink poisoned water and still live. If they are fragile, then what are we?" The chamber grew quiet. Every leader remembered the same truth. Humanity had not grown strong because the universe helped them. They grew strong because their own world tried to kill them every day. At the far end of the chamber, the council's speaker, a thin being with glowing skin, raised its hand. "Let us remain calm. This meeting is only to discuss the strange pulse recorded across the outer rim. It is said to come from Earth itself, but surely it is only a mistake." Before anyone could reply, the chamber shook. A deep vibration traveled through the floor. The lights flickered. Stars outside the glass seemed to ripple as if a storm had passed through space. The insect leader hissed, "There it is again." "That is no mistake." From the side doors, a young messenger stumbled in, its eyes wide. "Council members, forgive my entrance, but our fleets confirm the pulse. It is real, and it grows stronger each passing cycle. Ships in nearby systems have reported sudden failures, energy drained, and strange storms forming in the void." The scaled ambassador leaned forward. "Impossible, no planet can project such power," but the insect leader only shook its head. "Not a planet, a death world. Do not forget what we called them." The speaker tried to calm the rising noise. "We must not assume danger. Perhaps this pulse is natural. Some geological shift. Earth is unstable, yes, but nature is not war." Yet another voice cut through the chamber, deep and trembling. "What if nature itself has become war?" Silence fell. The thought was heavy, uncomfortable, but no one could deny it. The messenger placed a device on the table. A blue hologram of Earth shimmered above. Waves pulsed from its core, spreading across the galaxy in slow but endless circles. Every alien present leaned forward. Some covered their mouths. Some curled their claws against the table. "This is not technology," the messenger whispered. "It comes from the planet itself. It is alive." "No," the speaker said firmly. "Planets do not think, they do not rage. They do not strike." But as the words left its mouth, the hologram changed. A second wave surged outward, sharper, darker. The walls of the chamber trembled again. For a moment, every being felt something inside their chest. A pressure, a shadow, an anger that was not their own. The insect leader clutched its chest, whispering, "It is not just energy. It carries emotion. Do you not feel it? This is rage." "Pure rage," the scaled ambassador snarled. "Madness! Planets cannot feel rage." Then a voice echoed from the hologram. Soft, broken, but unmistakably human. "You left us to die." Every leader froze. The words rang through the chamber, spoken in 100 languages at once. The voice was not angry, it was sorrowful, and sorrow turned the silence into fear. The speaker's glowing skin dimmed. "Is this a recording?" The messenger shook its head. "No, Council, this is live. Humanity has not broadcasted anything." "The voice comes from the pulse itself," the insect leader whispered. "The planet speaks with them, through them," the scaled ambassador growled, trying to regain control. "Even if this is true, what can Earth do? They have no fleets that can rival ours, no weapons that can match our firepower." The chamber's floor shook harder, and the hologram showed a fleet orbiting Earth, a fleet of silver ships shining against the black. The leaders gasped as the image glitched. The fleet vanished, their signals cut, their power drained into nothing. A soft, cold laughter rose in the chamber. No one knew from where, but it wrapped around their minds like a chain. "You think your weapons protect you," the human voice said, echoing, "but your weapons are only toys. Your fleets are dust. You left us to die. Now hear the voice of the world that raised us." The hologram shifted again. Images of storms across Earth filled the chamber. Oceans rising, volcanoes burning, lightning clawing at the skies. Yet within the chaos, humans walked the land. Their faces steady calm, as if this destruction was home. The insect leader shivered. If they can survive this, then what are we compared to them, the speaker whispered. We are not facing humans alone, we are facing Earth itself. And Earth has chosen to speak, another silence spread. But this one was not disbelief, it was terror. No one dared to laugh now. No one dared to call Earth weak. The scaled ambassador lowered its head. Its pride broken. If this is Earth's rage, then we cannot fight it. We must decide quickly, will we make peace? Or will we be crushed by a planet's fury? The chamber shook once more. Stronger than before, glass walls cracked as if the stars themselves were trembling. The voice of Earth filled the air again. Louder, undeniable. Your council cannot escape the truth. You feared our children, but it is not humanity you should fear. It is me. I am Earth, and I will not be ignored. The chamber lights went dark. For a moment, every leader thought the end had come. But then the pulse faded. The hologram dissolved. Only silence remained, heavy and endless. The speaker finally whispered, "The galaxy has woken something we cannot control. The Council is no longer the highest power. Earth is, and for the first time in centuries, the mighty Council bowed their heads. Not to another empire, not to another fleet, but to a single world that had finally let them hear its rage." The Council chamber had gone quiet after the last meeting, but the silence did not bring peace. Across the galaxy, whispers spread like fire in dry fields. Fleets reported strange energy surges, colonies sent urgent warnings, and systems closest to Earth lived in constant fear. In the high towers of the Council's capital world, the speaker stood by the glass wall, watching stars burn in the distance. Its skin glowed faintly, but the glow was weak. "It cannot be what we think," the speaker muttered. "No world can shake the stars. It must be something else, behind it." The insect leader stepped forward, its wings buzzing faintly. "Do you not feel it even now? Every night the pulse grows stronger. Ships far from Earth complain of strange storms. And when the pulse passes through, they hear it, the voice. A whisper of rage." The speaker turned. "That is only fear. Fear makes you hear what you want to hear." The insect leader's jaws clicked sharply. "I am not afraid of shadows. I am afraid of what I know is real. You refuse to see it, because it destroys everything you believe. You think the Council holds power, but the truth is different. The truth is, Earth itself holds it." At that moment, a smaller alien entered the chamber, its body trembling as it carried a crystal recorder. It fell to its knees. "Honored leaders, forgive me, but this must be shown." It pressed the crystal, and blue light filled the air. The image showed a fleet of warships patrolling near Earth's outer rim. The soldiers aboard laughed, mocking humans, calling them weak, but then the pulse struck. The ships flickered, lights died, and power drained as if swallowed by an unseen mouth. Their laughter turned to screams, not from pain but from silence. Every channel cut, every voice lost. The crystal ended in emptiness, the chamber filled with hushed voices. One ambassador with silver feathers shook his head. "This is no battle, this is something else. Fleets do not vanish without a trace. Stars, do not tremble unless the void itself is angry." The speaker slammed its hand on the table. "Enough. If we spread fear, our unity will break. The Council must stand firm. We cannot bow to a world. We will send more fleets. We will test this so-called rage." The insect leader stared with cold eyes. "You will test it, and the galaxy will pay the price." Far away, on a mining colony near a red sun, workers had begun to notice changes. Machines failed for no reason. Tunnels collapsed, and the miners swore they heard voices in the stone. One worker whispered to another, "It is Earth, even here, far from its orbit. I heard it call my name." The others laughed nervously, but none denied they felt something press on their hearts whenever the pulse arrived. Back in the Council chamber, another messenger burst in, its breathing fast. The colonies demand answers. Systems closer to Earth are abandoning trade routes. They refuse to cross near human space. They say even the stars feel different. They call it Earth's rage. And they are afraid it will spread. The speaker closed its eyes. The words of fear had power. Once fear had a name, it could not be erased. And now the name was Earth. The insect leader leaned close, lowering its voice. You know what this means, don't you? The humans are not the weapon their world is. And if Earth has chosen to rise, nothing we send will stop it, the speaker whispered back. Then we must control the humans if the planet rages for them. Perhaps their voices can calm it, but even as the speaker said it, the chamber lights dimmed, every leader froze. A vibration ran through the walls, not violent but heavy. It carried weight like a great beast breathing in the dark. Then a whisper filled the air, soft, endless, chilling. You watched us suffer, the voice said. And you laughed. The insect leader's wings folded tight against its body. It is not only rage, it is memory, the silver-feathered ambassador whispered. No weapon is stronger than memory, for it never dies. Suddenly, the crystal recorder on the table cracked, shattering into dust. The room filled with gasps. Some leaders tried to run, but the doors locked on their own. No hand touched them, no machine moved. The chamber itself bent to the whisper. Do you think distance will protect you? The voice continued. Do you think your fleets, your armies, your walls of fire will matter? You feared humanity. But you should have feared me, the speaker shouted. Enough, you are not alive, you are a storm. A machine of nature, you cannot think, you cannot judge. But the whisper grew louder, sharper. I am not machine, I am not storm, I am Earth. And you will know my truth. The glass wall overlooking the stars cracked with a long echo. Thin lines spread across it like veins of ice. Through those cracks, the stars outside seemed to flicker. As if they were bowing, the insect leader fell to its knees, whispering, We called it a death world, but we never asked why it deserved that name. At last, the pulse faded, the chamber lights returned, the doors unlocked, and the whispers stopped. Yet the fear remained, stronger than before. The silver-feathered ambassador stood, its wings trembling. The galaxy cannot escape this. If Earth is alive, then we are all standing on borrowed time, the speaker tried to answer. But its voice shook. Then we must find a way to speak with it, or we will all fall. The insect leader raised its head. No, you cannot speak with rage. You can only survive it. And I am not sure the galaxy can. Outside, in the endless stars, another pulse spread from Earth. Faster and sharper than before, planets across the rim felt it. Moons trembled, oceans shifted, and in every dark corner of the galaxy, one truth took root. Earth was no longer silent. Earth had chosen to roar. The council hall was filled with noise. Leaders shouted over one another. Claws slammed against tables, wings buzzed in anger. Fear had spread in every corner of the galaxy. But in this chamber, denial grew even louder than fear. The speaker raised its glowing hand, its voice strong though its glow was dim. Enough. These whispers will destroy us more than Earth ever could. What we saw was not proof of life. It was a natural event, a storm of energy, unstable. Nothing more, a scaled ambassador hissed from the side. Storms do not speak, storms do not swallow fleets whole. Another voice, high and sharp, snapped back. Then what? Do you believe a ball of stone and water has a mind, that it waits, it plans, it rages? The insect leader slammed its claw against the table. Yes, I believe it. You all refuse to see. But the proof is clear. Earth is alive, and its children are not weak. They are forged by storms, fed by fire, raised in hunger, and still they rise. If the planet itself has joined them, then we face something no fleet can destroy. The speaker glared. Enough of this madness. Fear is clouding your reason. Humanity may be strong, yes, but they are few. And if Earth is angry, then we will answer with fire. We will burn their skies, we will bury their voices. The council cannot bend before one planet. The chamber roared with mixed cries. Some leaders shouted for caution, others for war. The silver-feathered ambassador rose slowly, its wings spreading. You speak of fire, but what happens when your fire is swallowed by storms? What happens when your fleets vanish without a sound? Can you burn an ocean? Can you bury a world that shakes the stars? The speaker's glow brightened. If we surrender to this fantasy, then the Council has no power. We must remain the rulers of the stars. If Earth can roar, then we will roar louder. A messenger rushed in, out of breath, carrying another crystal. Leaders, forgive me. A new report has come. You must see it. The crystal projected images above the chamber. A group of warships had been sent to orbit Earth once more. They stood ready with weapons aimed at the planet. The fleets prepared to fire, their commanders declaring to the galaxy that Earth would kneel. But then the pulse struck. Ships lost power instantly. Shields fell, engines died. They drifted helplessly as storms formed in space itself. Lightning cut across the void, striking metal hulls until they cracked like eggs. Within moments, the entire fleet was silent. Gasps filled the hall. Several leaders lowered their eyes, but the speaker slammed its hand again. Illusion, it is illusion. Earth has tricked us. It cannot destroy fleets with storms. It must be human technology, hidden weapons. A trap, the insect leader hissed. And how many more fleets will you sacrifice to your denial? How many systems will you let fall before you accept the truth? The speaker shouted back, better to lose fleets than to surrender the galaxy to fear. From the far side, the silver-feathered ambassador whispered softly, you are not saving the galaxy, speaker. You are dooming it. You cannot fight a world. A silence followed, but then something new stirred. The chamber's walls trembled, faint but real. A vibration ran through the air, and for a moment all lights dimmed. The leaders froze, waiting for the voice. But this time, there was no voice, only an image that appeared above them. It was Earth, not as a hologram, not as a recording, but as if the world itself had pushed its face into the chamber. Clouds swirled, storms raged, oceans churned, and then the image faded, leaving only silence. The speaker's voice shook but did not break. You see, it is only illusion, tricks to make us fear. Earth cannot step into our chamber, Earth cannot think. But even as the speaker spoke, the chamber doors sealed shut, locks clamped without command. Every leader looked around in fear. The room itself felt smaller, heavier, as if the world's weight had pressed into their bones. Then a whisper slid through the walls, so soft only some could hear. You deny me. The insect leader froze, its claws shaking. It whispered back, we hear you. The silver-feathered ambassador closed its eyes, whispering too, we believe you, but the speaker stood tall, its glow fierce. No, we will not bow to ghosts. We will not bow to a planet. The Council rules the stars, not Earth. The whisper faded, and the locks on the doors clicked open. Lights returned, the weight lifted, but the silence it left behind was worse than the fear. Every leader knew the truth. The speaker had not won. The Council had not stood strong. It had only shouted louder to cover its own terror. The insect leader looked around the chamber, its voice sharp as a blade. You can deny the truth, speaker, but you cannot hide it. Earth's rage grows, and when it strikes again, no denial will save us. The silver-feathered ambassador added, the galaxy will soon see what we see, and when that day comes, the Council will no longer lead. The Council will only beg. The speaker clenched its fists, glowing bright, but deep inside its light trembled. For the first time in its long life, it wondered if perhaps the galaxy's true ruler was not the Council at all, but a single world whose fury they had awakened. The Council chamber was restless. Fear had shaken the galaxy, but pride still sat heavy in the air. Leaders whispered about vanished fleets, broken colonies, and the strange whispers that came from Earth. Still, many clung to denial, refusing to bow before one world. Then the great screen at the end of the hall flickered to life. A signal, strong and steady, filled the chamber. It was not the voice of Earth this time. It was human. A man in dark uniform appeared. His eyes calm, his voice low but sharp. You call us fragile, he said. You call our home a death world. You laugh while we survive storms that would kill your kind in minutes. But now you know the truth. You left us to die, and we learned to live with death itself. The chamber froze. Some leaders hissed, others trembled. The speaker leaned forward, glowing brighter. Who dares speak to us this way? You are only a human. Your kind has no right to stand before this council. The human tilted his head slightly. His lips curved into a faint smile. No right, he repeated. Your fleets vanish, your machines fail, your stars tremble, and yet you say we have no right. We do not come here to ask for permission. We come to show you what you chose to ignore. The image behind him shifted. The skies of Earth split with storms. Lightning clawed across black clouds. Volcanoes burned bright. Oceans roared and rose as if they were alive. And yet, within the chaos, humans stood on mountains, on ships in ruined cities, calm, unbroken. An insect leader whispered, How do they endure this without fear? The man's voice answered, though he had not heard the whisper. Because this is our home, we do not fear it. We are shaped by it. And when it rages, it does not destroy us, it makes us stronger. The silver-feathered ambassador lowered its wings, speaking softly. It is not only the humans, it is Earth itself standing with them. The man looked straight into the chamber, as if he could see every leader. You should have left us alone, but you watched, you mocked. You feared what you could not understand, and now you fear what you cannot stop. The speaker slammed its glowing hand against the table. This is a threat. The human's smile faded. No, this is a reminder. We do not seek to destroy, but if you force us, then you will learn what it means to make an enemy of the world that raised us. Suddenly, the chamber lights flickered again. Not from Earth's pulse, but from something closer. The Council's own satellites lost power. The feed broke into static, but the human's voice still echoed, as if carried by something beyond machines. Listen well, Council, the voice said. Your fleets will not save you. Your laws will not protect you. The galaxy trembles not because of our weapons, but because of the ground beneath our feet. Earth is awake, and we are her voice. The image vanished. Silence filled the hall. Every leader stared at the speaker, waiting for command. At last, the scaled ambassador growled, We cannot win this fight. You saw it, you felt it. Earth's rage cannot be silenced. If we strike again, we may lose everything. But the speaker refused to bow. Its glow flared bright, almost blinding. We are the Council. We do not kneel before humans. If Earth speaks through them, then we will silence both. Prepare the Grand Armada, gasps echoed across the chamber. Even the insect leader hissed in disbelief. You would send the galaxy's might against a world that swallows fleets like dust. Are you blind? The silver-feathered ambassador spread its wings wide. This is no longer about humans alone. This is about survival. Earth does not need ships. It does not need weapons. It only needs to breathe. And we all feel it. Before the speaker could respond, the chamber shook. The ground trembled beneath their feet. A low rumble filled the air, not from the Council's world, but from across the stars. A new pulse had struck. Faster, stronger, sharper. The leaders grabbed their seats as the walls quaked. This time, the voice that came was not human, nor alien. It was both deep and endless. You send your armadas, and I will break them. You call yourselves rulers, but you are only children playing with fire. I am Earth, I raised humanity, and I will not let you chain them again. The chamber fell into darkness. The stars beyond the glass rippled, as if bending under the weight of the words. When the lights returned, several leaders had fallen to their knees, not by choice but by instinct. The speaker stood trembling, its glow flickering. It forced its voice to remain steady. We cannot yield. If we yield, then we are no longer the Council. The insect leader rose, claws shaking. Perhaps that is the truth. Perhaps the Council no longer rules. Perhaps Earth does. No one argued, no one cheered. The silence itself was heavier than war, for in that moment, every leader knew that their future no longer belonged to them. It belonged to a world they had mocked, a world that had awakened, and a world that had finally answered. Across the galaxy, panic spread faster than light. Fleets that once moved with pride now hesitated at the edges of human space. Colonies whispered of strange storms in the void. Comets shifted from their paths. Moons trembled in orbit. It was not only Earth that seemed alive. It was the stars themselves, shaking. In the council chamber, the leaders gathered again. Their faces were pale, their voices low. The speaker stood tall, glowing faintly, but every leader could see the flicker of fear. "Reports come from every rim system," a feathered ambassador said, its wings trembling. "Ships are dragged off course, engines die, and even stars burn with strange fire. Tell me, speaker, is this illusion too?" The speaker's voice rose sharp. "Do not twist my words. What we face may be strange. Yes, but it is not divine. It is not alive. It is energy, and all energy can be destroyed." The insect leader slammed its claw down. "Destroyed with what? Another fleet, another armada to feed the storm. You do not fight Earth, speaker, you feed it. And the more you resist, the louder it roars." The chamber grew tense. A messenger entered quickly, carrying a data crystal. Its voice shook as it spoke. "A system near the human border has gone silent. No signal, no trade, no light. The planets are gone." As if swallowed, gasps filled the room. One scaled ambassador growled, "You lie. No world can vanish." The messenger placed the crystal on the table. Light shimmered above them, showing the empty dark where a bright system once spun. Only silence remained. The silver-feathered ambassador lowered its head. "The stars themselves tremble. What we face is beyond war," the speaker shouted, desperate now. "Then what, shall we bow to humans? Shall we crown their world as our master? No, the council rules. And we will rule still." A deep vibration filled the hall. The lights flickered. Shadows crawled across the walls. For a moment, every leader froze as they felt something heavy press against their hearts. Her voice, not loud but endless, spoke from the air. "You do not rule, you never ruled. You only borrowed time." The chamber went cold. Breath turned heavy. Some leaders sank into their seats. The insect leader whispered, "It is not only rage, it is judgment." From beyond the glass wall, the stars rippled. A comet passed the council's world. But instead of sailing past, it shattered into dust, breaking apart, as if the void itself had clenched a fist. The leaders gasped, watching fragments burn in the sky. The speaker tried to stay strong. "It is a trick. Humans have done this, not the planet, not the stars." But the human voice returned, this time clearer, a woman's voice steady and calm. "You cannot hide behind lies forever. You saw our fleets fall, you saw your systems break, and still you call us weak. We warned you, we asked for peace, but you gave us chains. Now the galaxy will see the truth." The insect leader leaned forward, whispering, "It is not only Earth. It is the humans themselves. They are its children. They speak with its voice, they fight with its storms." The silver-feathered ambassador added, "And they need no ships to win." The speaker pounded the table, desperate to control the chamber. "If we give in to fear, then the council is nothing. Do you not understand? If we kneel now, the galaxy will collapse into chaos." But another ambassador snapped back, "Chaos is already here." Suddenly the chamber floor shook violently. A low rumble echoed through the world beneath them. The leaders grabbed their seats. The great glass walls cracked. Outside, the stars themselves flickered again. Not dim, but bending, as if pulled toward Earth's call. The whisper returned, stronger, more commanding. "You mocked my children. You called them fragile. You built walls against them, but your walls crumble. Your fleets fade, your voices fall silent. And still you deny me." The speaker shouted into the air, its glow fierce. "We will never kneel." The whisper shook the chamber with the final word. "Then you will fall." The lights died for a long moment. The council chamber sat in pure darkness. The only sound was the frantic breathing of the leaders. When the lights returned, many of them had fallen to their knees without realizing. The insect leader rose slowly, eyes sharp. "The galaxy cannot fight this. The stars tremble with Earth's rage, and if we do not act, there will be no council left to rule." The silver-feathered ambassador spread its wings. "Perhaps the time of the council has ended. Perhaps the time of Earth has begun." No one argued, not even the speaker, for though its glow still burned, its heart had been broken by the truth. The stars themselves trembled, and the galaxy knew it could no longer escape the storm. The council chamber was heavy with silence. Fear had spread across the galaxy. Stars trembled, fleets vanished. and whole systems fell dark. The leaders who once mocked Earth now sat pale, their voices trapped in their throats. The speaker tried to stand tall, its glow faint but steady. We cannot give in to fear. We are the Council. We are the law of the stars. The insect leader leaned forward, its wings still, its voice sharp. You keep repeating the same words, but they are empty now. The galaxy has seen what we all tried to deny. Earth is no longer only a world. It is something greater, something alive. A silver-feathered ambassador rose slowly, its wings shaking. Reports come from across the rim. Comets shifting course, moons breaking apart. Fleets drained of power without a shot fired. How do you explain this, speaker? What weapon does this? The speaker's glow flickered. It is human trickery. They want us to believe their world is alive. They want us to surrender without battle. The insect leader hissed. No weapon can make the stars bend. No trick can silence systems. This is not illusion. It is truth. A messenger rushed into the chamber, trembling as it clutched a cracked crystal. Council, forgive me, but you must see this. The crystal lit the chamber, showing a planet near Earth's border. The ground split open, oceans rose into the skies. Storms tore apart cities, yet the humans living there stood unbroken, holding their banners high as if they faced nothing at all. And then the image shifted. The pulse spread outward, reaching the nearest alien fleet. Ships froze, weapons died, and the fleet vanished into the void, not destroyed, not burned, but simply gone. Gasps filled the room. The silver-feathered ambassador whispered, "It is not only Earth. The humans carry its voice wherever they go." The speaker slammed its glowing hand against the table. "Lies, all lies. This is nothing but fear and surrender. We must not bow." But before the chamber could erupt, the walls trembled, lights dimmed. The glass wall cracked again as shadows stretched across the stars. A voice rose, louder than before, filling every corner. "You speak of lies, yet you are the liars. You call yourselves rulers, but you are only thieves. You left my children to die, and they survived without you. Now you fear what they have become." The leaders froze. Some covered their ears, but the voice pressed against their very bones. The insect leader whispered, "It is not the humans speaking now. It is Earth itself." The silver-feathered ambassador knelt, its wings folding tight. The truth is revealed. The Council is no longer the highest power. The speaker tried to fight back, glowing brighter. "You cannot rule the galaxy. You are only a world. You are stone, water, and fire," the voice thundered, shaking the chamber. "I am more than stone. I am more than fire. I am life. I am rage. I am the truth you tried to bury. I am Earth." The chamber's floor cracked. Dust fell from the ceiling. Leaders screamed as the air grew heavy. The insect leader turned to the speaker, shouting over the roar, "Do you still deny it now? Do you not see what we face?" The speaker trembled but forced its glow to remain. "Even if it is true, we cannot kneel. If we kneel, the Council dies." The silver-feathered ambassador cried out, "The Council is already dead." The voice filled the chamber again, softer now but sharp as a blade. "You fear death, but it is not death I bring. It is memory. You mocked my children, called them fragile, but they are my gift. They carry me in their blood, and through them I live among the stars." A sudden image appeared in the air, a human child standing in the rain. The storm raged around her, but she did not flinch. She raised her hand, and the lightning bent above her head. The chamber gasped, watching her smile as if she was part of the storm itself. The insect leader whispered, "The humans are not only survivors, they are extensions of Earth. They are pieces of the world itself." The speaker sank slowly into its seat, its glow dimming. For the first time it had no answer. The silver-feathered ambassador turned to the chamber, its voice firm. "The truth has come. We mocked them, we feared them, but we never understood. Humanity is not alone. They are not fragile, they are Earth, and Earth is alive." The leaders bowed their heads, one by one, not from choice but from instinct, for they all felt the same weight pressing on them, the same truth burning inside their hearts. The Council had ruled for centuries, but now they understood their rule had been borrowed time. The voice echoed one final time. Remember this truth. You will not rule my children. You will not chain them. You will not silence them, for when Earth rises, the stars themselves tremble. The lights returned. The cracks in the glass walls sealed as if they had never been. The chamber was still, but the leaders no longer argued. No one shouted for fleets. No one demanded war. They had seen the truth. The speaker lowered its head, its glow weak. Then it is finished. The council does not rule. Earth does. And across the galaxy, from the smallest colony to the greatest fleet, the same whisper passed from mouth to mouth. The truth had been revealed, and nothing would ever be the same again.